Hello, and welcome to the Mindset Arc podcast. It's day 10 of the 365 project. I'm his host, Dean, and let's get to it. Today, I want to talk about the phrase that came to me not so long ago when I was experiencing some people, let's say, stopping seeing me, right? The phrase goes like that. I gave them all I possibly could. They gave me all they possibly could. And I think it applies to, firstly, of course, it is about ending any type of interaction, any type of relationship between people. It can be applied to relationships, to casual sex, to business, to friends, to just acquaintances. It doesn't really matter. It can I even be applied to some random people you meet in the course of your day. I caught myself thinking that there were so much more that I wanted to experience with them, with that person, and with any other. Like it just caused me to think about every person that we stopped communicating that way, not in my life anymore. And there is usually some regrets, some things, some maybe expectations that weren't fulfilled, or some desires, some dreams that you associate with them, and they just left hanging there. So what's good to remember here is, if you have some of them, if you had some expectations that you should have done together, or they could have given you something else, or you could have taught them something else, as was with me, for example. I really regret, not regret, but at that moment I regretted that, and that caused hard feelings. So, whatever it is, there is something unfulfilled, something not yet ended. There is no closure, it seems like, right? But when you think about it actually, why isn't there? If it's ended, do you think there is really something else that should have been done? The reality is reality. It is already decided. If somewhere in the future it can be changed, maybe. But for now, reality is like that. Where you ended any of your relationships, it, it is there. It is at this point. Even if you had some more expectations, they probably were irrelevant. Maybe the last expectation, the last thing you could have given each other is to end all of this. Think about it. There are no wrong choices. We make all of our choices for some reason. We think we are doing the best we possibly can. And if there are maybe even there are some expectations. Maybe there are some things that you really wanted to do. Maybe maybe the most important thing you could have gotten out of that relationship is that it is not required to do that thing you wanted to do. I wanted to teach a couple of people I've seen before something about life, something about mindset, change their lives for the better a bit. And when it abruptly ended, I thought, oh, I failed. I cannot do that anymore. I should have given them more earlier. Maybe I should have been more considerate. Whatever. But when you actually think about it, when I actually thought about it, they didn't need that. At least from me. At least for now. At this moment in time, they didn't need that information from me. And even if I wanted to get something from them, my life still goes on. I don't need that thing I thought I need from them. And so at the end, it seems like everything just turns out to be just right. Transaction is concluded, and everything that you had to give to each other, you already did. No matter how it ends, no matter what happens, everything that should have happened is already happened. Everything that shouldn't have happened didn't. It's just that simple. We we can we can think that something should have been. But at the end, the only thing that should have been is the thing that happened. That's just the reality. I think it's relaxing thought to think about it like that. There are no unfulfilled expectations anymore. Everything you wanted, if you think you really want something and you need other people to do that, great. There are much more people in the world, you know? It doesn't have to be that specific person. We are unique, but we're not that unique. There is always multiple people for that could give us what we want. And if there are no other people that can give us what we want, we can give it to ourselves. And even if we can't, and it's really unachievable right now, then I guess that should have happened. There is no point to regret something that is already happened. It's already the past. What's the point on dwelling on it? Think about what you can do now. If you're missing something, work on it. Or if you're missing something, go deeper on it and see if you're really missing that. If you really had to have this thing, had to give that thing. If the expectations is really important. If it is, you will do it later. If it is, you would give it to yourself no matter what at some point. If it's not, then it can remain just a good idea that you can or may not implement in the future. It doesn't really matter. The point is, there's no purpose of regretting something. It's all a lesson, but it wasn't a failure. You did the best you possibly could. That's what I want to leave you today. Everything has happened as it should have. And it's good to realize that. And as always, accept what you already did, aim for the better future, and have fun with it.